I appreciate you do the backups, Damo, because again, the thing like just also a bit handy.
It's
Um,
always good to do. It's
it's
good
always
practice.
handy, and I'm like, yeah, the episode's out, bin the file, get it away.
I don't
Um,
do backups because I don't plan for failure. Because that means you expect it.
uh, oh, but Kyran, you know how it is when we make plans.
That's why I don't make plans. I make gestures on a whim.
Okay. I guess the intro, like, will go me, then Damon, then you. We'll just do a basic thing, no, like, and special guest. We'll just do, yeah, because everyone will know it's a special guest. Whatever, it's fine.
Everyone knows
Um,
Yeah.
me. I'm awesome.
that's very true.
That's very not
Um,
true.
I can't wait to not edit this part.
Blooper reel. Patreon exclusive.
Hello, welcome to I'll Sleep When I'm Done Talking, in which we don't sleep until the end of the podcast. I'm Connor.
I'm Damon.
And I'm stretching.
That's good to know.
And this week we're talking about Pokemon.
Yeah.
Intro music plays. Damo, get on that.
Oh, fuck. Shit. Oh, dang it.
We have
Oh,
until
fuck.
Wednesday. It's
No.
TikTok.
No! Shit.
Okay, so Pokemon. The
Pokemon.
long-awaited episode. The fans have been crying out, we need a Pokemon episode. Also, put Kyran in it. I'm like, yeah, I will put Kyran in it.
Yeah, someone asked for that. Crazy
Me.
bastard. I stand by
the
my
maniac.
statement.
Yeah, I agree with your statement. But so I think we should. How did we get in the Pokemon? I think it's a good starting place. Does anyone actually
Who will
remember how
start?
they got into Pokemon?
I do.
I
It is one of the
vaguely remember.
It is one of the few things I have known longer than I have known you.
That's yeah, look, fair.
That checks out.
Because I remember before moving up here, I had got given a DS, and the first thing I got was the new Super Mario Bros. DS game, because it was the Mario DS that says Wahoo every time you open and close it.
Oh my god.
But the second game I got for a long car trip was Pokemon Platinum, which is still one of my favorite games of all time.
Hell yeah.
Fair enough.
And
That's
I've
a
been
good second
I've been
game.
addicted to it the whole series ever since. I don't remember anything else because I remember every Pokemon instead.
Yeah, you have like a. The thing where I'm really bad at remembering Pokemon names. Like I'm like, the guy with like it's like a dinosaur. It's like a grass type. I had a Pokemon card of it.
Yep, that's generally how these
I
things
know
go.
the one you're talking about.
Yeah, I have no idea what it's called, but it's just like I was like, okay, think of a Pokemon. That one. I don't know.
You know what would
it
actually be a
is.
fun thing to do at
Yeah.
some stage? So, you guys know Wordle, yeah? Everyone knows Wordle roughly at this stage.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yes.
Well,
Yes.
there's a other version I've found called Squirtle, and you have to guess Pokemon based on like guessing their types
Oh,
and
no.
names and all that sort of thing.
I think I did that with
Oh,
someone
no.
on the Chaos Realm server. They were playing it in the VC, and I joined in and like, what are you up to? And they were doing that, and I was like, oh god. And then we just tried. They were a bit better than I was, but we worked out together. It was fun. It was a good. I'd be up for doing it again. It's definitely a. I just can't do Pokemon names, especially now because I've started nicknaming all the Pokemon, so I don't even get to learn the new ones. I'm like, fucking spaghetti. All right. Yeah, no, fair. Because again, one of the only things, like one of my key things of like notes of in my brain of Kyran likes is like League of Legends, play now for free. Shakespeare, Pokemon Platinum.
Pokemon in general, but Platinum's the headstone.
Well, I mean, you had because the thing, one of the things is like I got to get you on this episode, so I want you to talk about the Platinum book you had.
Ah, yes, my favorite
Or
book
still
of all
have?
time. The Pokemon Platinum Strategy Manual. Where the fuck is it? God, my room is a mess. I can't be asked getting that out. That's like a whole meter away from where I'm standing.
I remember so vividly in primary school, like, you just, like, it wouldn't happen, like, it'd happen, like, it'd come in waves, but it would hit points where all into Pokemon. I think it was around about the time, like, Black and White was coming out, maybe, and, like, just before then, when, like, Pokemon hype was starting to build up. Like, every day you'd bring that strategy guide to school.
I have maimed myself. All my back problems in life are from that damn book.
It is a big book. It's
the last book they made that wasn't split into multiple parts. Because from
Yeah,
that
'cause-
point
oh,
onward, because
God.
I got the one after that as well, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, it's split in 2 parts. Like, walkthrough of the game and then the Pokedex. This is
Because I have
last
the
one where
black
they're
and
slapped
white
together.
manual. I have the black and white manual, which was like because like it was just like it's just like the guide. It's not the Pokedex.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that book was huge. I have such vivid memories of you like, boof, bringing it out of your bag and slamming on the table and just being like, "Gosh, you're cool."
Yep, that's how I became the cool kid. By drawing my giant 424-page Pokemon Platinum Strategy Guide out of my bag and breaking the table under its girth.
It was so big.
It was a weapon.
Yeah, no, you probably, if you dropped that off a second story, you could have probably, I don't know, well, look, I don't know, well, how many murders could you commit?
How long would it take people to catch on is the real question.
Weirdly, I don't think long enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, Damo, what's your beginning of Pokemon?
I guess I kind of like always passively knew about Pokemon just because it was so big by the time I was a kid. I just already knew about it, I guess. Like, my brother had an original Game Boy with Pokemon Blue, I think it was.
Yes.
No idea if it's still around or not.
That's the first
but
game.
he had that.
Or one of the first games.
One of the first, yeah. But like I properly got into it because of the anime, actually. Back when like people were uploading episodes just straight onto YouTube, as is the way I got into a lot of TV shows. The anime was the way I got into it. And I think the first games I got were actually X and Y, and then later down the line I got Pearl, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all good. A lot of people bitch and moan about Gen 6 now, and it does definitely have problems, which is X and Y.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is,
Yeah, it definitely
I
does.
remember, because it was probably roughly the same for you, we both started like Gen 4-ish, yeah, like Diamond, Pearl, Platinum.
Yeah.
And it went from like sprites that move and then are stagnant to Soul Silver and Heart Gold, which they followed behind you, which is awesome.
It's amazing.
To Gen 5, where they're always moving, and I'm like, this is incredible. Then right after that, they went to full 3D models for everything. I'm like, technology's insane! I can see Mewtwo punch me in the throat in real time!
Wow! Yeah, no, it was crazy to be. I remember, like, I'll get to the thing, but, like, because I'll get to, like, the bit I was remembering, but it's like, my origin with Pokemon is I remember I just had a couple Pokemon cards. No memory of why. I just like, I guess I have these, because I only learned about that afterwards because I again at Christmas got a DS, and unlike you, I got an R4 card, which is a thing.
I had an
that
R4 card at one stage.
I'm pretty sure my uncle had done up, so I didn't get any games. I just got an R4 card, which had like 140 games, mostly shovelware, some good, some.
That explains
I
a lot.
I didn't play all of them. Like I remember just
But
being
you
like,
played most of them.
I played like the one where it was the dodgeball game where you
I
get to
was
throw
about
a
to bring up the
bookcase.
dodgeball game, because I remember when we had
was
our
so
4 cards.
fun!
There was a dodgeball game, and I remember it mainly because it's the one game you off the bat stomped me. Because I'm throwing dodgeballs, and you pull a fridge out of your pocket and pelt it at my guy's head.
What?
And I got so confused.
I don't remember what it was called, but yeah, I do actually vaguely remember that particular play of you just being like, what? And I'm like, yeah, it's good, isn't it? And you're like, what? How? Yeah, I just remember us being, for like, fridges and bookcases and like bowling balls. I'm like, yeah, this rules.
And I'm hiding in the corner getting pelted unruly.
But yeah, no, but one of the key games in the R4 card was Pokemon Pearl, in which I saw it and went, what's that? And clicked into it.
And the rest was history.
That's where it all began.
Well, pretty much. I like the other little side story about that game I have in particular is one, when they got to the starters, because I didn't really know anything about Pokemon at all. So it was like, pick your starter, and it was like Piplup, Chimchar, Turtwig, and I'm looking at them being like, well, Chimchar, like child brain being like, well, Chimchar's a bit ugly, and Piplup's too cute because we're going into battle, because I know this is a fighting type game. I'm gonna go with Turtwig, and now Turtwig's one of my favorite Pokemon ever.
That it is.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's that, and then the other key thing about that game was, I think it was the fifth, like, is it the Psychic Gym Leader, the fifth Gym Leader, who was, like, missing from the gym?
No, it's a Ghost-type gym leader, and they're
Ghost
the
type.
third in Pearl.
No, surely not the third.
They are the third in Pearl, they're like the fifth in Platinum, or maybe it's swapped.
No.
Wait.
It's like, it's fourth and fifth, it's swapped.
Yeah, no, they're fourth in Diamond and Pearl, they're fifth in Platinum, because the third one's the fighting one. But it's weird, because you go through their town to get to the other two.
Yeah. So I remember I had to go around to do the water gym, and then I came back. I couldn't work out how to, like, get that person. For a while, I was like, oh, it was probably glitched. And I'm like, oh, but also I could have just been dumb. I'd ask you, and you're like, just do this, and then I guess I just couldn't wrap my head around it, or it did glitch.
Well, the problem was also, I was playing Platinum, which is like the updated version, and they have moved some stuff around. So what was right for me was not right for you, because that's the main thing they swapped around.
Yeah, and I was just sitting there being like, well, I just trained all my Pokemon to level 50. They really didn't listen to me anymore, but I sure just kept playing Pokemon. I mean, like, wow, I couldn't do that now.
You know, that's probably solidified your playstyle in Pokemon over the years, hasn't it? That experience. Because you get one team for the whole game, over-level the hell out of them, and then just steamroll everything.
But here's the thing, recently I was thinking about it too, being like, why is this my playstyle? And there was a thing from somewhere being like, hey, it's interesting that the Pokemon anime kind of like points out how some of the elements in the Pokemon games are fucked up, and it's like, hey, this is bad, don't do it. Like, there's one episode in the anime talking about like, hey, don't grind your Pokemon. That's like really, like, it's like, don't do that. That's like almost animal abuse. And there's like a couple other things like blanking on. Another one was like, because like in the anime it was such a big thing of like, this is your team, these are your friends, this is your companionship. That's why I would always end up with a team and just stick with it, because I'm like, no, these are my friends.
That's the other thing, though. The tagline of Pokemon is gotta catch them all. In the anime, they go as far out of their way as possible to not catch things.
I'm pretty sure one of the antagonists of one of the early movies is, like, their goal is to catch them all.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, fuck.
Like, that's the difference between Ash, who sucks, and Red, who's awesome. Because Red did catch them all and is actually competent.
Yeah, you would stand at the edge of a mountain waiting for a fight, Kyran.
No, it's cold up there. I hate the cold. Almost as much as I hate Mestra and Moltres.
That's true.
Oh yeah, that's one of the other things. Pokemon. On my list of top 3 most hated anythings, 2 of them are Pokemon.
And this isn't like hated anythings in fiction.
This is hated anything.
Games.
Anythings. Everythings.
Fuck, it's good. It's fun. But yeah, no, that's how I kind of got into Pokemon. But then I feel like I really hit my stride with Pokemon Black and White, because that was I don't know how much you remember, and we are going into a bit of like this like primary school stuff. It's like I don't know how you remember how big it was, but I remember friend at the time primary school friend.
I know what you're going to bring
Sam
up. Yep,
was
printed out
printing
list of all the Pokemon in Gen 5 with the Japanese names.
Oh my god.
And so it was like leaked shit. So it wasn't like
Yeah, and the
like
other thing, I'm trying
Oh,
to find
wow.
it. I had this like little sort of promotional booklet that showed like the starters and legendaries, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And it's just like this little thing. I don't think it's here anymore.
oh damn.
Though I still do have my Pokemon White Zekrom DS case that I never used here.
Huh. As in like just like the case for the
It's
Oh,
like
no,
a
for
case
the-
that would fit a phone. Like it's a Velcro thing that you would stick the DS in, but it would only work if it didn't have a case, which mine had a case. So yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, right. No, Pokemon Black and White. Like, because it was funny because we all agreed to go and get Pokemon White because the Zekrom was really cool, and I fucked up and bought Pokemon Black.
Well, that's because they hit you with the bait and switch. It's like, I'll get black because I want the black one. No, that's the white one. Then Black and White 2 come around. It's like, okay, I want the black one, so I'll get the white game. But in White 2, the white game is Reshiram, which is the white one.
So yeah, it was the thing. I was like, oh fuck, I guess I got this one, which I still enjoyed. I had a great time with it. Again, I have the fucking strategy guide as well as like so many like little core memories of it. Like, no, out of all the Pokemon games, I think that's my favorite one. Style looking, like visually, I'm like, nah, Pokemon Black looked great. Pokemon Black and White just great. I would like to actually get a copy, ideally a physical copy of Pokemon Black and White 2. So I'm like, that's a game I never played.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people just skipped over it because they thought it was a lazy rebrand. But looking back, it is very unique.
It's so unique, and I'm like, fuck, I want to get a copy. I went, just like, I'll just do a quick eBay. Oh, $200. I don't have $200.
Yeah, it's expensive.
And the other annoying thing, I have a ROM of Pokemon Black 2. It is probably the worst performing ROM I've ever seen. That shit hits 5 FPS just running through grass, and I have no idea why.
Holy shit.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
Another little side thing with that is like, because I have my 3D, my original 3DS, like first gen 3DS, man, like, I kind of want a new one.
Where's
or
my
like
3DS? I need to find that.
Because mine's still covered in Skylanders stickers.
Hell yeah, brother.
Oh yeah, it is.
All
We need to have a whole episode on Skylanders.
Oh, don't worry.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You're the guest on that one as well. That's an idea we've got
Shit,
going.
yes.
Nice.
I found my DS. Because I got my DS
fuck
with the
yeah.
3DS version of Skylanders.
Oh, I don't have my copy. The only 3DS games I got a couple 3DS games at the time. The only 3DS games I still have are just the Pokemon ones.
I don't get rid of games. I don't see the point in like refunding or selling games.
I guess I just
Yeah.
didn't care about Lego Star Wars and Asphalt 3D. What happened there was I just lost the game but had the case, and I'm like,
I
what
found
am
my
I supposed to do
3DS.
with
It
this?
still has Pokemon Moon in it.
I think mine has Ultra Moon in it still.
Yeah, I skipped on Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And looking
Fair,
back, I
I
kind of
was
want to try them as well.
Yeah.
Because they look
I
a
was
lot
tricked
better.
by the ads. Because the ads were like, oh, look at all this content. I'm like, oh, that actually looks really good. Bought it and went, wait a minute, that's post game. I don't play the post game.
Exactly.
I've been tricked. Funnily enough, though, that game has one of the wildest teams because all of them are just by happenstance female.
I think that actually happened to me in Scarlet and Violet.
Except, fucking crazy. All right. Except one Pokemon. Is it Sylveon?
Yeah, it was
That's the right
Sylveon.
one. The fairy type evolution.
Yeah.
I remember you
Yeah.
showing me your team, but I only ever remember Tiger Millionaire, the Tora Cat, and Bewob, the Beware.
No, Bewob wasn't in that game. That was in Sword and Shield.
I thought it was in Sun and Moon, and then you also got one in Sword and Shield.
No, I never had one before.
Oh.
That's why. Because my rule with Pokemon games is there's fucking 800 of them. I'm gonna have a unique team every time.
Yes, but you also never swap the team out once you get those 6.
Yeah, so that way when I play it's like so fucking many Pokemon. I don't need to swap them out because then I lose more Pokemon Father. I want a team that I can connect with, be friends with, you know?
But
Be
what
like,
if one of
yes,
them
Tiger
sucks?
Million. Well, fucking, they get booted early in. If they've stuck with me, they've stuck with me. For example, in the latest game, right?
Oh
I
boy.
caught a Diglett, named it Douglet. I loved it. But fuck, was it not good?
Yeah,
And I'm just like, I'm sorry, Douglet, and I just put it in the bin. And then I had silly little guy, I had him for a bit. But then as all my
that was the
Pokemon were kind of like...
Clamperl, wasn't it?
Yeah. I was like, oh, you're real cool. But they just weren't making the cut. They just were like lagging behind.
Did you evolve them?
I just didn't get the chance. When do they evolve? What
When
level?
you use a Water Stone.
Well, then no, because I didn't have a Water Stone.
God damn.
I didn't know.
Because Close is pretty strong.
It's fucking replaced by 2tan 2 Go. For the audience. So, because of good roommate Corey, who has now completed the complete Pokedex for that game and has played through it twice, both the Violet and Scarlet version, like a fucking maniac.
God.
Yeah.
God.
It's because no one else was getting us the Scarlet exclusives we needed for Violet, so we said, fine, I'll do it myself.
Slow.
I know, you said literally earlier today, you've just beaten the 5th gym.
Yeah. But yeah,
that
so
sounds about
my
right.
my Pokemon team, I'll bring up, just quickly go over it. I'm like, okay, where the fuck is it? Switch chat, go through. Yeah,
You've got
my
all
Pokemon
the
team at the moment.
starters, and you got an endgame damn near pseudo-legendary gifted to you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I have Spaghetti, which is what I don't know what the actual the grass type one. Then I have it's Gibble, then Gabite, then it's Gabite, then Garchomp. I have a Gabite, which I've caught recently, to replace the little guy, called Gift of the Gab, which I fucking love that name. Then we got the elephant one from Gen 3 named Cannonball. Then we have Rocky Road, the fire type
Do you mean
starter.
Donphan?
Yeah, I forgot the name.
Donphan's from Gen 2.
Gen 2? Fuck.
Yeah.
Shit. That one. And then we have Rocky Road, and then we have Robocop, which is an Iron Valiant.
Yeah,
And I'm
which
like,
is
yeah,
a super
cool.
secret endgame Violet exclusive that can rinse anything it hits.
It won't listen to me yet, because I haven't beaten enough gyms. So,
Yes.
so I'm just not using it, because I'm like, you weren't going to listen to me. The only time I had to use it was for a Team Star fight, because those are really boring. And I was like, I'll do the first one, because it's the easiest one, the Dark type. It pretty much KO'd all my Pokemon. I'm like, oh shit, alright, I guess I'll take this one to show. And then it killed it pretty quickly, because while it didn't listen to me, it was still like, yeah, alright, I'll do the fairy move anyway, despite you. And I'm like,
It doesn't hit much, but when it does hit...
it just killed it, like, in like one hit. And I'm like, cool. And then I have 2 Go, which is the water type one. And the reason it's called 2 Go is obviously reference to Fast and Furious, but also it takes 2 to tango.
Oh, I get it.
I hope everyone can hear the smile on my face.
Can
I was real proud of that. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. But yeah, that's my team for that game. I try to remember my teams and like try and save them up because I just think they're neat, and also you get like a lot of cool combinations of stuff. Like in my Moon game, my original one, I had a Snorlax, and then I also had, I forgot what its name is. It starts with a H. In the anime, it had a big fight with like the Charizard. It's from Gen 3. I named my one Sekita Sanshiro.
Hariyama.
Yep, that one. Yeah. I think that's like one of the best names I've ever given a Pokemon. I'm like, yeah, cool, fun.
People who know Sekita Sanshiro know.
Oh, and they're cheering. They're
Weeping.
They're cheering, crying, holding up their Sega Saturn. Sekita Sanshiro. Oh, good. But But yeah, no. Do you guys have like a favorite Pokemon game of the ones you've played?
Platinum has to be my favorite,
Hmm.
but I enjoy pretty much all of them.
Yeah, fair.
Shield has
Fair,
irritated
yeah.
me the most. Not real, like the game has problems definitely, but more because the Switch doesn't support cloud saves. So when my Switch died, I had to restart the game, and then
Oh,
it
yeah.
shat out again. So although the Switch didn't break, I had to start it a third time. So I've played through Shield 3 goddamn times, and I'm kind of sick of seeing it.
Yeah, no, look, fair. It's fun with like because all the Pokemon games like I enjoy the majority of these. I'm having a pretty good time with it. Like the most recent one is a thing of just like I wish they had like polished this a bit more and did a couple other things, but like hmm. It is funny to see any character in the background look like a design choice that clearly wasn't a design choice.
Yeah. The problem with Scarlet and Violet is, like, Legends Arceus, that came out this year.
Yeah, it did.
Oh shit, it did.
January.
They came out within like 10 months of each other. That's not a good thing.
Jesus.
Yeah, because like yeah, no, because I never played Arceus because it's just not. It's a thing of like everyone loves it. I'm like, that's great. It's a
It is
shame it's not my type of game.
it is good, but it can be a pain in the ass.
It's
I haven't finished it yet. I really need to.
like I think the story is interesting, but also the thing of just like, but to catch all the that's just not my type of game.
Yeah, you have to catch all the Pokemon to finish that game.
I'm like,
Oh jeez.
I'm good. I'm happy to stick with my six and just like train them up really high and then turn all the other Pokemon off. Just one hit
Yeah.
them. It's so much fun.
The thing is, though, you can see Legends Arceus influence bleeding into Scarlet and Violet, because there are things
Mm.
included in Scarlet and Violet exclusively because they have a Hisuian version that was unique to Legends Arceus, and they need to be able to have it ported over through
Yeah.
Pokemon Home when that's implemented.
Mm.
Because like they have halves of duos, like established duos, but there's only a half of them because one got a form and the other didn't.
Mm. Yeah,
Like
interesting. It's
like
it,
Stunt
it
Tank's
is.
in the game, but Perugly
Mm.
isn't. Actually, Stunt Tank doesn't even have a form. I don't know.
I do know my Pokemon.
I certainly know some things.
um. Yeah. No. But like, I think my like I have a very deep soft spot for Pearl. And speaking of, I haven't finished Shining Pearl, but I will get back into that one because I'm actively having a good time with it. I just got caught up in other nonsense, and then the new Pokemon game came out. And I'm like, I guess I'll just finish that one and then go
Oh
back to
yeah,
Shining
fucking.
Pearl.
I keep forgetting Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl even came out. I was hyped for those games for
Same.
so goddamn long, but they got announced the same time Legends Arceus did, so they got completely overshadowed.
Oh god.
Yeah, it. A fun thing that
And then there was
Karen and I
also
have been
Scarlet and
doing.
Violet coming out, so it's like, bruh.
Yeah, no, look, it's a fun. Yeah, it just really got like kicked in the teeth. I mean, like, yep. Anyway, moving on. It's like this one's actually a lot of fun, and I like how they did the 3D in this one. It's not as pretty as it could have been, but like
It's
for
art
what it
direction.
is, it look no. But what I mean is like it because like yeah, art direction. So it should look like potentially if you were going to do that, maybe like a better approach could have been something closer to Link's Awakening. I mean, we are
Yeah.
talking
Maybe,
about
yeah.
the highest. It's a thing of like, I was watching a clip of like, again, people rightfully complaining about the new games, and an old clip of Game Grumps showed up, and it was Aaron complaining, being like, "This is the highest grossing franchise ever made. Why can't they make a quality, like a visually quality game?" Or I
Yeah.
was like, "What the hell?"
That is a good
And it's like,
point, but at the same time, people care way too much about trees in Pokemon games. Jesus Christ, ever since
oh
Sword
my
and
god,
Shield, the
Oh
second
yeah.
I rem-
someone sees a tree in a trailer, they lose their goddamn mind.
No, I remember that. As soon as she said trees, I just had a flashback to the sword and shield. I'm like, oh no. And then had a flash,
Yeah.
like a flasher forward, but still further back of like when the first trailers for Scarlet Violet came out and people were like, look at the trees!
Scarlet and Violet, I will say, actually look pretty damn good, all things considered. The performance issues are another kettle of fish.
Mm.
Oh, it's fun when like, new city. I gotta turn off the game and start it up again, then it'll be fine. Um, yeah, no. But yeah, like Pearl, I have a deep love for, but it's a game I've never finished, so like I gotta finish the new one.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's great for
but
you because they've actually got a thing in the menu now to tell you where you need to go if you get lost.
I know it's so handy. Although
Oh, neat.
funny story, and I find it funny.
If you still got
Is
lost.
no. Here's the thing. So in an RPG, you're supposed to go around to chat to everyone, because they'll have information or items or whatever.
Or funny
I'm
dialogue.
or funny dialogue. I like
Yeah.
shorts. Let's fight. Um, but a thing I forgot to do because for those who don't know, back in the older games, you had to have a Pokemon that was like you put all your TMs on or whatever.
Your
And one of the
HM
things you had to have, your HM slave, what you had to have was a flying type, so they could learn fly, so it was just easier to get everywhere. Now, I forgot to pick up fly, so
Oh no.
because it's just at like it's like in a side building up top, like around it was a building I went into, saw nothing, and left.
Yeah, the HMs in some of the older games are in really dumb spots, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so it's a thing of like it was just in a corner, but just out of sight. So I did like a little lap, and I'm like, nothing here and left.
I got
And so I just
stonewalled in
missed it.
Pokemon White for so long trying to find strength. And it's just in
Oh
some
yeah,
random
no.
building, there's this bald guy in a leather jacket and he's like, hey, have this, and it's strength. I'm like, boy.
I think I had a slight advantage on that because I had the manual. So I was like flipping through, being like, how do I? Because I remember also being like, I need to get strength from somewhere. But the thing with it was I didn't pick up fly, which I forgot about until there's one spot in which which is a giant sandstorm, and you're meant to use another item to clear it, but I didn't have that item either. So I just walked through a sandstorm, got to the 6th gym, beat the gym, went cool. Now to fly. Oh no.
Beans.
I don't know, fly. And I don't have the item to go back. So I had to backtrack through because it was already a hassle to get through that sand desert blind. But it's like I only have to do it once, so it doesn't matter. And I was like, I have to do it again. And I had to do it backwards. So I was like, oh my god, I have to. I did it. I went all the way back to where I got it. I picked up fly. I went, oh, thank god. And then started using that. But it was just such a funny moment of, again, my character just turning around and going like, oh shit. Oh, fuck. But yeah, no, as much as I think like Pearl is a personal one, I think Pokemon Black might be my favorite.
I feel like it's widely considered the golden age of Pokemon is Gen 3 to Gen 5. Those
Yeah,
are like the
Yeah.
best games. Because Gen 1, look, people who were there at the time have a real soft spot for Gen 1 and love it. That game is held together with Scotch tape and broken dreams. It is so not functional. It just does not work. There are so many ways to break that game.
Oh,
again,
yeah, that's
missing
right.
no is just a Pokemon.
You,
Yeah.
There's so many dumb things in that game. You can win it in literally half a second through glitches.
Fun.
Oh, yeah.
And Gen 2,
Oh yeah.
I like it because it's Soul Silver and Heart Gold. But after like going back through it somewhat recently, because you got me Crystal a while ago on the 3DS Conor,
Yeah.
and when I'm through playing that, I remembered the pacing in that game and like the level disparity in that is so horrendous because it jumps all over the place. The champion in most games is like on the lower end, like mid 60s, higher end, like mid 70s. In Gen 2, I think their highest is level 52. And the highest level wild Pokemon is like mid 30s. But then you beat the champion, then you can do like all the Kanto gyms as well. But they're also weak as piss. But then there's Red, who is the strongest trainer in any game at like high 80s.
Yeah.
And it takes forever to grind up to that. Because there's no good ways of grinding in that game.
Yeah, like it's fun every so often. I'm like, maybe I should go back to Pokemon Heart Gold. That was a really fun. The level disparity. Maybe I'll wait.
There's a lot
Maybe
of
I'll
things that
think about a
stop you
different
from.
Pokemon game.
There's a lot of things that stop you from doing it. Number 1, Whitney. Fuck Whitney. All my homies hate Whitney.
Also, number 2, my version of Heart Gold has 2 Pokemon starters because your Salt Silver had a female Feraligatr. So
Yes.
we just got so many eggs.
All the little Totodiles.
Yeah. And so I was like,
Feraligatr's
yeah,
awesome.
cool. He's great. But no, it's 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 a thing of like I just don't know if I'll get to at some point I'll eventually get to it. But yeah, no, Damo, do you have a favorite Pokemon game? Kind of left you hanging for a bit.
Well, it's not nearly as interesting as either of you two. I don't know, like I never really completed any actual Pokemon game. The closest I got was to just completing X, because that was the only one I had access to at the time.
Fair.
So, and like all the other ones I got, I started them, but they didn't really catch me as well as X and Y did. So probably just X, just by default, would be my favorite.
Fair enough.
I do
I
enjoy
remember...
X and Y, but they also have some problems with
Yeah.
pacing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do. Oh yeah, the pacing
Yeah,
really. Like,
Gym 1, you get there within like 30 to 40 minutes, relatively standard. Gym 2, you get there in 3 hours. Gen 3
Yeah.
through 6, all done within half an hour.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like it's fun because Y was the first Pokemon game I actually became the champion in. Because I tried in Pokemon Black. It's funny to say it's my favorite. Because the reason I say it's my favorite is because it's like it had atmosphere, the time it came out.
It's the one game with a story.
The actual sprite, the
Scarlet
artwork
Violet,
is a bunch have.
Look, in terms of story, anyone gives a damn about. Black and White is one of the only ones people rate not horribly.
Yeah. But it's the thing of like I was like, cool. I'm tired, but that's the purpose of the podcast. No. So the issue was I beat the Elite Four. Then they're like, cool, you gotta catch the Legendary now. And I'm like, okay. And I did it. And it's like, cool, beat the Elite Four again. They're harder now.
Yeah, because Black and White, like in Nuzlocke channels and that, usually it's like you beat the champion, you're done. But Black and White, you do the Elite Four, then N builds a castle, or like raises a castle out from under the Elite Four, because he beat the champion. So you have to go through N's castle, catch the legendary, beat N, then beat Getsus. And then that's where they normally cut it off. But to actually beat the game technically, you have to do the Elite Four again, and then fight the actual champion.
So I remember being a child being like, that's bullshit, and then turning off the game. Only to turn it back on ages later when they had a promotion for shiny legendaries and have a shiny Giratina.
Which I'm still salty over. But I can get a shiny Eternatus on Sword and Shield.
Fair enough. But yeah, no, it's funny, like, that one's my favorite, but like, no, the atmosphere it had like a really interesting, like, vibe to it. I'm like, no, that is my favorite one. It also just looked really pretty.
Yeah.
I think, I think, but the last proper question I think we'll have with this one is, what are some of you guys' favorite Pokemon? Because there's probably coming up to 900 of
I
these
think
guys.
I think we're technically over 1,000 now. I think Scarlet and Violet just shoved us over. I'm actually gonna check.
Oh,
Damn.
Jesus Christ. Okay, alright.
Yep, there's now 1,008.
Terrific.
Damn.
So, you can pick a couple.
Only
yeah.
a couple.
I like a lot of them is the thing.
No, fair enough.
There's so many Pokemon I like.
I just like whatever one comes to mind. That, like when I'm like, what are my favorite Pokemon? Like the bunch that come to mind, I'm like, probably those ones. I do quite like them a lot.
I know two of your absolute favorites are Torterra and Dewott. In terms of starters, anyway.
Yeah, Oshawott is I quite like Oshawott. Again, starters. Who are you picking out of your starters? Like
That's
that actually might be
that's
fun
also
little
really
thing.
hard for me because I constantly go through
Shit.
my head, going like, how do I rate all the starters? I'm like, the only ones I really dislike are like Meganium and ones that are nothing but pure fur bait. Which
Fair
is
enough.
an astounding amount of the fire types. Like, goddamn.
That's true.
That did happen, and it
Yeah.
kept happening. It's like, no, but like, because like I always like think of things because Gen 1 of Pokemon, like you were saying before, has like has for me the same issue that the 80s Ninja Turtles has, which is like, cool. It was big at the time. It needed to happen to get where we are. It's really big. We don't need this many remakes or like bits of merch or whatever. Just
Yeah.
stop. It's like it's a thing of just like, we
Charizard
get
is
it.
so popular, and like, yeah, he's cool, but he's also really boring.
Charizard has probably become my least favorite Pokemon purely from the standpoint of
Damn.
oversaturation.
I've gone from the point of liking it to hating it to despising it to kind of liking it again.
Fair enough.
I like him because he's a dragon. And that's it.
Because the thing
I
is,
don't
I've,
like him
Little
because
flame on his
he's
taken
not
tail.
a dragon.
I've taken my bias away, and he is cool.
He's a dragon.
He is cool. And at the time, he's also really cool. But he should not be as relevant as he still is now.
He is like, still very weirdly popular.
I remember, I think it was like for Sword and Shield, they're like, we're bringing Charizard back. I was like, cool, what about the other two starters from Gen 1? What are they?
They've done the same thing with Scarlet and Violet.
I know. Corey doing his fucking Charizard raid and
I did
sitting there for hours on end he's still trying to get a shiny Charizard.
The raid's not there anymore. Oh wait, is he doing egg hunting, you mean?
Yeah, he's just got a Ditto and a Charizard and God.
What he needs is a Japanese Ditto. Masuda method that bitch.
I think he has one.
That son of a bitch, I need it.
Give it. I'm pretty sure I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he has one. Like, I think he's done it. No, he's like, I have the highest chance of getting a shiny that I possibly could, and I'm still not with this. Although I did have a fun little experience of him going like, yeah, being in the water is really shitty because the lag is tremendous, and then finding a red Gyarados. And I was like, nah,
Nice.
that's pretty fun to
It's found a
actually
red
watch
Gyarados,
happen.
and it's not in a Gen 2 game, so it actually has some impact.
Yeah. Oh, what was it? Fucking. But yeah, no, like. Because, like, for me, the starters are a lot easier to pick from, except for Gen 3. Gen 3, you're like, ooh, I have one that I will pick, but
Yeah.
fuck, I think that's the. I think Gen 3 is genuinely the best.
Everyone worships the Gen 3 starters as a pantheon of greatness. They're all insanely good.
Yeah, because it's like
Which
of like.
ones are Gen 3 again?
Blaziken, Sceptile, and Swampert.
Or Torchic,
Yeah.
Torchic,
Mudkip,
Trico,
and
Mudkip.
Trico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, those guys are really popular.
The reason I say that they are the best set of starters is because, unlike every other generation, which, like, no, I have an obvious favorite, or, like, there's clearly two that are better than one, these three are like, ooh, shit, good point. This is an actual decision I have to make.
Really? Because that did not happen to me.
Gen 4 is
Which
also
one
a
did you
pretty
I
good one.
very quickly went to Mudkip.
A lot of people go Mudkip. I like Mudkip.
Fair. Mudkip's fucking great.
One of the first internet memes ever is, I heard you like Mudkips.
Yeah, oh my god.
That shit's from like
yeah,
2008.
right. It just is. Wow.
Yeah.
I go Torchic because of the story I have of my brother getting Pokemon Diamond like secondhand from an EV Games. Me being like, oh, because he was just really young. I was like, I'll restart the game for you, just so it's a clean slate for you. And then me going through like that, going through whatever that like last save had in their storage, in like the box, being like, okay, what Pokemon did they have? Was there anything really interesting? And they had a combustion,
Hmm.
just sitting there, and I was like, what are you? And so I transferred that over to my R4 card Pearl, and just had another start. I do have a weird trend of having more than one starter.
I actually had a similar experience. I don't know when the hell this happened, but in my Pokemon Platinum save, my main save, I just opened it. There's just a shiny Infernape there. I don't know when that happened. I genuinely don't know, but there's a pink Infernape there.
No, I have vague memories of you being like, I got a shiny one.
I don't know why. I never grinded for that. I never remember getting one. I remember because I also had an R4 card, as I was sort of alluding to earlier, and they had a thing where like you could just turn cheats on for everything, and there was one that was like shinies only. The thing is, you can't trade things on an R4 card over. At least I didn't think you could, but I think I might have managed to once.
You would have had to have, because I was able to use my Pokemon Pearl to trade, like, to get the Blaziken over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it became a Blaziken. I was like, this one's cool, and now yeah, I have a favorite out of that gen, but still, like Trico, Torchic, and Mudkip. I'm like, no, these are the best ones because this is like, fuck, this is a decision you have to make. And yeah, other people just be like, nah, Mudkip or nah, Trico. Like they have their ones, but like for me, that's the generation with the toughest decision, and also pretty much all of it's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's another gen I do want to play. Is either like the Mega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I don't own a copy of either one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Res is some of the best games, I think. Like remake.
I've heard. Yeah, it's like I've heard it's really good. I should play it.
I think it's one of the last games, like, because let's be honest, it feels like Game Freak hasn't really tried that hard with some of the latest games.
No.
That seems to be the last game they really tried. Because, like,
yeah,
you could get all the legendaries in it, or all the legendaries that were in the game at the time in it, but they also included every legendary theme and remade a lot of them in the game. Which is effort they have not put in recently. Because I really wanted that to happen in the Sword and Shield DLCs, and it just didn't. They gave us a slightly remixed version of the normal raid music, which still isn't that great.
It's one of those things of like you're looking at the Shining, like, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, being like, they outsourced that to a different studio, and I'm glad they did. You know? I feel like it somehow got more love away from Game Freak.
It's still got character, but it's also a bit overshadowed still.
Oh, definitely. Well, yeah, because Game Freak was like, oh, fuck it, we didn't make it.
We're focused on Legends Arceus, Breath of the Wild, but Pokemon.
But yeah, no, fucking, what was it? Yeah, no, like, starter-wise, I'm like, oh, that's the best gen, but yeah, I could just go through each generation, but like, yeah, Bulbasaur, Cyndaquil, Torchic, Turtwig, Oshawott. I'm blanking on Gen 6. Chestnut was a fun surprise.
I like Chestnut, but no one remembers Chestnut.
Because everyone either picked the furry one or fucking Greninja.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna be honest, I love Greninja. Greninja is one of the few Pokemon, at least in new games, that has beaten Charizard in popularity.
Yeah, and I'm like, thank God.
I'm happy because Greninja's cool.
He's cool. He's actually cool.
It's a ninja frog. That's awesome. Also, I have a bias because I love every frog Pokemon. I want to make a team of all Frogmon, but they didn't include enough in Scarlet and Violet. The Fiends. They took out my shaking Seismitoad.
Oh man.
There's Toxicroak. They're adding the Gen 6 starters at some stage. We know that for a fact, I think. Fucking, there's Bellybolt now, which is an avocado. I don't care about him that much, but that's funny.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, like, yeah, Chestnut was, That was fun because like I don't remember what the previous what the
It's
previous forms were
Chespin,
for it.
Quilladin, then Chestnut.
Yeah, Chespin. I picked it because again, as Kyran is the one who's like, I'm gonna pick all the I'm water. When I Kyran, I'm like, no, Kyran's most likely gonna pick water, except for a couple of key examples which tend to be fire.
No, I've
but-
only picked fire once, which was Infernape in Gen 4 for my
yeah,
first game.
that's fair.
Ever
That's fair.
since Soul Silver, which was my second game, I've picked water, except in Sun and Moon, where I picked Rowlet instead, because I don't like Poplio and Primarina.
But also, you and Rowlet, I'm like, no, that makes sense.
Decidueye is so cool, or as the professionals call him, Decadooey.
I do love Decidueye.
And also, if you're looking at a Pokemon that matches the trainer who has them, nah, Rowlet does quite work for you, Kyran. I'm like, yeah. Is it my number one pick for you as a starter? No, out of all of them, no. I think Greninja has a better run up than that. But it's the thing of no, but that fits. That fits.
I
And
am a
obviously-
ninja frog.
You are a ninja frog.
That is one of my most defining characteristics.
Who can turn your head around 360 like an owl.
And who has a tongue so long that I wear it as a scarf.
And who only is doing stuff at nighttime.
Yeah, well, shut up.
And you do assassinate people.
Shut up!
Shush! What did I say? No, but yeah, but yeah, favorite Pokemon. One of my number ones, I just can't get over it, is Poliwrath. I fucking love that guy so much.
We both have a love of Poliwrath.
He's so cool!
Yeah.
He's got angry eyes!
It's one of the laziest fucking designs ever, and so many people shit on it, but we both love it for no goddamn reason.
It's Poliwhirl! You're like, oh, that's cute.
But he's
And
gonna
then he
punch
evolves. He evolves to just have fists. Usually it's little hands. And he just balls his hands into a fist and just gets angry. And you're like, yeah!
He makes a fist and squints, and that's an evolution. And it's incredible.
It's amazing! It's the best! He fucking rules. What other are my favorite Pokemon? Obviously Torterra. I fucking love Torterra. Ditto is always fun for comedy. I quite like a comedic Ditto.
Ditto's great.
Yeah, there's a bit we had which we're chatting about Pokemon stuff. It's you could send out Ditto to do your daily tasks. It's imagine this is it's oh hey Brian, thank you for coming for the wedding. I really appreciate it. Ditto. You really? He didn't even show up for the wedding. Ditto.
No one at
do
the
you
wedding
wanna
is real, they're all ditto.
but, well, that's good. But also the idea of just being and Brian's sitting at home, then Ditto comes back. It's oh, Ditto, you're back later than I expected. How was the night? Ditto. It's oh, okay, cool, whatever. I don't know what Ditto says. And a week later, it's oh, hey, we're taking Ditto out. We're gonna have night at the town. It's oh, you didn't invite me? It's yeah.
Getting replaced by Ditto.
Ditto's the life of the party. You didn't want to go to the wedding. You should have seen Ditto at the wedding.
He
King of the
turned
dance
into
floor, I'll tell you
champagne.
what.
It's crazy. Such a kooky little goober.
Come on, Ditto, let's go. Ditto! And ever since, yeah, nah, Ditto's amazing. Ditto's great.
Yeah. Damn, what are your
Yeah.
some of your favorite starters?
Or just Pokemon in general, but
Yeah.
starters are handy.
I don't know. I honestly don't remember most of the starters.
Which Pokemon is
I
Sonic
like
the
Bulbas-
Hedgehog? That's the real
Fucking-
question.
Shaman.
Oh yeah, Shaman is a hedgehog.
I do really love Shaman. Shaman is actually one of my favorites.
You can get Shaman in Legends Arceus. It's just a pain in the dick.
Oh, nice.
Again, talking about a trainer and their Pokemon that matches them really well. Damo and Shaman, I'm no, I actually kind of want art of that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I like Shaman ever since I saw the anime movie that had Shaman.
Yeah,
in it.
that's
Which one is
one of
that?
the. It's
That's the
one of the best
Giratina
movies
one.
because it's the Giratina
Yeah.
movie, and I have no bias towards that whatsoever.
Fuck, those movies are good.
I need to watch them again.
I have them!
We've been meaning to
Let's
do it, but
watch
I
them.
keep unintentionally procrastinating it, like literally everything in my life.
Yeah, a bit ago, like some point this year, I bought the trilogy
You
of
got all the
the
Gen 4
Pokemon.
movies.
No, I don't, because I'm missing the Zoroark one, which is still a Gen 4 movie.
I actually have that one.
Ooh.
Fuck yeah!
I do have that
That's-
one. I have that
my
one,
bro-
Pokemon Forever, and I think one more, and I don't remember what it is.
Because it was for a bit, I was looking, like, every so often, like, as much as I have a massive collection of media, like, there's some things that just slip through the cracks of me just being sitting and being like, huh, I own nothing Scooby-Doo. Everyone's like, what? I'm like, I just don't own anything. It's like, no, that's fucked. That's wrong.
Really?
No, because of how I am, because of how much I love Scooby-Doo and I'm a big fan.
I guess.
I've watched
Like-
the first Scooby-Doo live-action movie so many fucking times. I don't know why. I
That's
must
fair.
have
It's a-
watched that shit 30 times at least.
It's a fun movie,
I
but
have-
it doesn't need to be watched that much.
You know the 3 movies I've probably watched the most, and these are all weird. The first Scooby-Doo live-action movie, Despicable Me 1, and G-Force.
Fucking G-Force!
G-Force?
Yeah, G-Force. Come at me.
G-
I don't know why. There was like a time when, like, whenever we had like neighbors or family friends that come over, it was just always one of those 3 movies, and we would watch them all the fucking time.
like, it's one of those things that, like, okay, I've also seen all these movies,
Like,
but, like,
the amount of times I've watched Scooby-Doo just try to see all like the way the plot fits together, like ahead of time, and how impractical everything is. The amount of times I've watched Despicable Me just to see how rigged that fucking carnival is. And the amount of times I watched G-Force because there was nothing else to put on.
you put on G-Force and like, well, I've already seen Despicable Me and Scooby-Doo again.
Twice
So
today
I
alone.
might as fucking well.
Oh my god.
like Scooby-Doo, you're like, okay. I've seen that a bunch. I'm like, no, that's like, it's like the thing, like, it was the era, that makes sense. And then Despicable Me is like, no, that was a big movie. I've seen it a couple of times. I actually own that movie from when I was
I
a
still
kid.
think
Like,
Despicable
yeah.
Me 1's pretty good.
No, it is. Like, from memory, I'm like, no,
Oh, yeah.
that was pretty good. It had a decent story.
It's very fun.
But G-Force I've only ever seen once. And all I
I've never
remember
seen it.
is, like, the weird, scary, like, beginning of the 3rd act.
Is that when they make the giant mech out of all the coffee machines and printers?
It was just before they make the giant mech. I didn't remember them making a giant mech. I just remember being like, oh no, evil technology.
Yeah. I think I watched that so much because it reminded me of Transformers, like the live action Transformers.
Oh.
So I put fucking G-Force on instead.
This reminds me of a thing I like, so I'm gonna watch that instead of the thing I like. Fuck.
You're not the only one who likes things in a really dumb way, Connor.
No, look, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, we have been friends for what, fucking 12 years?
12 coming on 13, I think.
Oh, yeah, it is coming on 13. Whenever
Yeah.
school starts back up, within 2023, then it will hit 13 again. Oh my god. It's been a bit of time. Oh,
There have been people
shit.
born in that time who are already better at video games than both of us.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Pokemon.
Yeah.
I have the Darkrai movie, which is one that I really liked this one. I was like, this movie rules.
I
It's got
only remember
Darkrai
seeing
in
like
it.
bits and pieces of it occasionally on Cartoon Network, but I remember it being pretty alright.
I remember I've watched it a bunch.
However,
I
I also know it links into the Giratina one in a kind of dumb way. Because like after
Yeah.
that, the fight, because I know Palkia and Dialga fight in the Darkrai one, and that damages like the distortion world. So in the next one, Giratina's there, and I remember because I remember the start of it because Shaman's running around a forest. Dialga's there for some fucking reason, starts drinking from a lake. Giratina bursts out the lake, grabs it, and drags it away because it's mad that the space in its realm got damaged. So instead of going for the space one, it went for the time one. And I got so confused onto why. Side note,
Yeah.
Giratina is awesome. He chokeslammed
no.
Dialga into a lake.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Like because I remember because I really fucking liked the Darkrai movie, but I also probably about to an equal amount also really liked the Shaman movie, being like, nah, this movie rules. It's got Garatina in it.
Yeah.
And then there was the Arceus movie, which I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
The only thing I remember from the Arceus movie is that Arceus almost dies from fucking concrete.
I know,
I'm
it's
like-
so funny.
My brother
He
in
nearly
my
drowns
brother in
in
Arceus.
cement.
What do you mean? God died to the fucking construction union.
Fuck, it's good. It's really good.
Your businesses slap that shit on a billboard. Don't unionize. You'll kill God.
Fuck. I think we'll wrap this episode up with one last thing because we're talking about the movies. Favorite legendaries.
I mean, Giratina, Reggie,
Garatina's
Reggie
fucking
Gigas,
cool.
we both
Reggie
love.
Gigas. Oh, I fucking love
Reggie Giga Chad.
that.
Love that guy.
Reggie Gigas is like right up my alley in a ton
I
of
love
fucking
all the
legendary shit.
I love all the Reggies except Reggie Draco. I don't think anyone likes Reggie Draco that much.
I forgot it existed. I'm like, yeah, the Reggies. Reggie Rock, Reggie Ice, Reggie Steel, and Reggie Gigas. The only Reggies.
I actually like Reggie Alecki quite a lot.
Fair, I just forget.
Though
Again,
also, it became so strong in the metagame in competitive.
God.
Because, like, all the Reggies
Um,
are slow and bulky. They add one that's fast. Instantly too strong. But also really like Darkrai.
Darkrai's so fucking cool.
I
Yeah, we
just
do really like
we just
Gen
like
4,
Gen
huh?
4.
Gen 4's got some good fucking legendaries.
Gen 5's got some cool shit. I like Kabalion for no reason whatsoever. He's just a goat. And that's
Yeah,
cool.
the Gen 5 ones aren't like they're not my favorite, but they have a unique look to them that works really well.
I like Thundurus. I like Kabalion. I actually had Keldeo. I don't like Keldeo, but I had it.
I gave away mine.
Yeah. I'm just going through gens now, listing off cool ones. All the Gen 3 legendaries are cool, like the main ones. Deoxys
Yeah.
is awesome.
I fucking
Zygarde
love
from Gen
Rayquaza.
6 is cool.
I had a little like Rayquaza, not like a figurine.
I quite like
It
the
was like a
legendary beasts as well.
Yeah, fair. Again, I don't think I had much interaction with.
Zapdos
Oh, wait,
is
no, those
cool,
legendaries,
Articuno's neat, Moltres is the worst thing ever. What else?
Yeah.
I like Uxie. Mesprit's the second worst thing ever. The only reason it's not worse is because at least its theme is good.
Celebi sure does exist.
Celebi is trash. Pokemon Forever.
Yeah.
There are so many movies that Celebi is in, and it is such a hindrance because of how
pretty sure-
piss weak it is.
It's fun because I've watched Pokemon Forever, but all I remember was being like, "Wow, this sucks."
The Virgin Celebi
And a
versus the
big
Chad
tree.
Dialga. Yeah, the big tree thing was cool, but also stupid.
I think out of all the legendaries, I think Giratina takes the cake.
Maybe
Oh,
I'm just an
also,
edgy
like-
bitch, but I'm not going to apologize for it.
I do actually quite like the fuck yeah, again, like I was saying, Gen 3, they're all really good as well.
Yeah.
Gen 6 is
I like Zygarde and Yveltal quite a bit.
yeah, they're neat. I like that there's like the life and death. You're like, that's a cool premise.
Mm.
I like that I captured death. That's funny.
Yep.
I am a child.
Death is a bird and also a cocoon.
Yeah.
I love Pokemon.
I quite liked the moon
Yeah,
legendary just
Lunala
from like
was cool.
visually.
Lunala
Visually,
was
I'm like,
cool.
yeah. Damo's tuned back in, being like, I know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Ultra Beasts don't count as legendaries, they're their own thing. The Tapus are all kinda in my eyes.
Sword and Shield, they're whatever.
Sword and Shield,
I
there
liked-
were two...
I liked
Oh
the-
wait, no, there were more than two legendaries.
I
Base
liked
game,
the
there were
third
two.
surprise one. No, because it was like
Oh,
the
right,
weird
Eternatus.
yeah. It was a thing of like, oh, like you get to that point in the game and like, what the fuck are you?
Eternus is
It's
neat,
like,
but it's
fight
like
me.
it is so not Pokemon. It's like,
Yeah.
what is a Power Rangers villain doing here, and why is that a dragon that turns into a gun?
You're like, okay, I catch, neat. Again, the only thing that was neat about the legendaries in that game was purely the weird, shitty post game, in which like two dickheads like, we have shitty hair, we're gonna take over the thing. It's like,
Dude, the
we just
post
did the
game,
main
the post
plot.
game for Sword and Shield was so bad. It was so bad.
I never played the DLC.
No, not the DLC, the post game of the main game.
I know.
The DLC
So,
was
yeah,
alright.
it seemed fine.
Post game though with fucking, it's like Swordward and Shield Bird or some shit.
It was Dickhead 1. Well, it was Dickhead 2 and Dickhead 3 because we had the other guy.
Oh yeah,
the other
Beat.
rival in that game. Dickhead.
Fucking Beat.
Oh fuck, he was a wonder. I quite liked the rivals in that game.
The thing is, every time I've gone through Pokemon Shield, Bishop, one of my favorite Pokemon, has been a staple of my team. It stonewalls him every time because he either has Psychic types, which can't hit it because it's a Dark type. Then he changes to Fairy types, which can't hit it because it's a Steel type. He never hit me once in my 3 playthroughs.
Fuck.
And he's talking so much shit, like he's on Xbox Live and said he just fucked my mum.
Fuck, I love Dickhead. He was so funny. He was, yeah, again, because all my Pokemon were just leveled up to shit. He'd be like, huh, good luck beating me, and I punched him in the face. And I'm like, fuck you, your Pokemon are go to the hospital again.
I'm gonna slap that silver spoon right out of your mouth.
I was always excited to see Dickhead. I'm like, you again?
I liked his theme though.
Yeah, I don't remember it. Actually, this episode's gonna run a bit longer. We have a guest. Sorry, Damo. I should let you talk more. I don't know how much you have to say. But the music, the Pokemon music, we should talk about that real quickly. I just remembered the entire soundtrack of the Diamond, Pearl, Platinum games, and I'm like, oh, talk about some good fucking music.
Okay.
I have no memory of the music, I'll be totally honest.
I have a lot to say about the music. Too much to say to let this podcast run for any reasonable amount of time. I will say Gen 4 has some great music. It also has something that has traumatized me for probably going on 10 years now, which is the miscellaneous legendary theme in Gen 4. Gen 4, I love it to death, I really do. The roaming legendaries in that game have literally made me scared of legendary Pokemon until, like, still now even. Because it jump scares the shit out of you because you're just walking around, suddenly it goes silent, the screen starts going white, flashing around everywhere, a slow, like, whoa starts standing, then it just fucking yells at you. And then this intense music starts playing. I was like, it's just Mesprit! Leave me alone, god damn it! But that suspense has stayed with me ever since Pokemon Platinum. So even when I know a legendary fight's coming up, I break into a cold sweat. This literally happened in Violet when I caught Miraidon, which I spent the entire game with. But when it came to catching it, I started sweating like a pig.
Oh, fuck. That's amazing.
Like, it has fucked me up so long, which also irritates me, because some legendary music is so good. Giratina's is so good.
Genuinely amazing. Fuck. Damo, I'll send you like a playlist of just like random Pokemon tracks.
I think I might have that saved somewhere.
Yeah, because like genuinely, I'm like, no, the Pokemon music's great, and it takes.
Legendary themes.
It's like a TikTok I have saved. It's just like it's just like a thing of just like what if like it's like if I was a Pokemon gym leader for each of these types, like how would I dress or whatever. I'm like, yeah, it's real cool, but the music in it, I'm just like, oh, it's taken me back to a place I have long since thought was lost, and I would desire to get back to. Oh my goodness, the vibes.
I don't think I do have it saved.
Well, I'll find something. There's a couple really good tracks.
Pokemon music's a bit like Sonic music. It's like, it doesn't matter how good the game is, there's gonna be one or two fucking bangers in there. It's an inevitability.
Yeah,
And Scarlet and Violet has a lot of good music. Mainly because
yeah.
in Gen 8, they got Toby Fox to do one song, far and away the
Ah,
best
shit,
piece of
that's
music in the
right.
entire game, by a mile. So now he's done a lot more of the music in Scarlet and Violet.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's fuck. I love Pokemon so much. It's got a really good thing. I like that. Like this episode is the longest episode we've like recorded properly so far. But and obviously we have three people on, so it's gonna be a bit longer. But like I'm sitting there being like I could talk for so much longer. I'm sitting there being like, what will we be as gym leaders?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
The thing is, we've had these like you and I have talked about these things for 13 years now.
yeah, we have.
It's always a subject of conversation. Like there's always something
I
new to add to it.
I at one point started to make a. Hold on, where do I have it pinned? I did genuinely start to make a list as to what I would be as a Pokemon gym leader. David, do you have any favorite legendaries while I try and find this?
I like Dialga. I always really liked like that specific generation of legendaries, I
Yeah,
guess.
the Gen 4s are all good,
Yeah.
because it also includes
Yeah,
Shaman.
really good.
Oh yeah, Shaman as well. I like Reshiram as a lot as well.
I originally
Reshiram and
hated
Zekrom are
Reshiram. He's
good.
grown on me a bit, but I still think he's flat out worse than Zekrom.
Fair. I remember you hating him. I like
He
you said
doesn't
that. I'm
have
like, yeah, no, you
hands. He's got
did.
wings with little like stabby fingers on it. Those are useless. He
Yeah.
has vestigial fingers.
He's got stabby Pete's.
His fingers might as well be appendixes. They're that useless.
Funny. Good.
I like Lugia as well, quite a lot. I'm mainly just talking like aesthetics here.
I like
Honestly,
Lugia.
that's how I like my Pokemon.
Lugia's very basic looking for a legendary, but I also like it a lot.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
one of those like simple but well designed.
However, that age-old question, why the fuck is it not a water type?
Yeah.
I haven't had to fight it. It's not. What
Lu-
type is it? 'Cause
Lugia is found at the bottom of the sea. It is a psychic flying type. Flying makes sense, because all its stuff's about like flying and that. It flaps its wings, it makes a hurricane that lasts 40 days. But psychic just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I do really like the legendary beasts though, Raikou, Entei, and Suicune.
Oh yeah. They're
Also,
really
a
good.
cool thing not many people know about them, they all have unique legendary themes, and they're all great.
Ah.
I think you might just have to leave
Somewhere.
it. We're gonna run way too
I'm
long.
just gonna have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, no. I had a file of like the Pokemon I would have if I was a gym leader.
Would Torterra be
um,
one of them?
No, because I think I based it around like the idea of like. I'd have to grab the other things. I don't think I would. It's probably in the other hard drive I don't have plugged into my computer. No, I had it was like it was a couple grass types I had. I think I went with like because if I did go with like fucking like a starter in as a gym leader, then yes. But if I didn't, I had a couple other options. Don't remember what they were at all. That's upsetting. But I think we should probably wrap up the episode. We could literally go on for hours.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, we could potentially do another episode of Pokemon at some point.
A good chance. It is the biggest grossing media franchise in the world.
Well, yeah, on that note, I've been Connor.
I've been Damon.
And I haven't been told about this bit.
So at this
I don't know how this started. You just started at one time.
So, usually how we end the episodes is we say goodnight to the audience as they have been listening to this at nighttime, and it is time for them to go to bed.
Okay.
So, good
Yeah,
night.
this is meant to be a chill
Go to bed, go to bed,
podcast,
go to
by
bed,
the
go to
way.
bed, go to bed, go to bed.
Enjoy your sleep. Have a lovely slumber. Enjoy your time. Good night. Good night. Go to bed.
Yes, good night.
Go to bed. Good night. You've had your fun. Go to bed. Come on. Come on, go to bed, please.
Come on, no fucking about. get your
Better
PJs
get
on,
to it.
brush your teeth, get in bed, and lose consciousness for 6 hours.